Very much, Mr. Toastmaster, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a first step. And I took that first step on August the 28th, 1955, when I walked into my first Toastmaster meeting, the Seal Beach Toastmasters Club in Seal Beach. My father had been a Toastmaster in the 40s and 50s, and it was through his encouragement and my great respect for him that I joined Toastmasters. And what a wonderful odyssey it has been. As I go back to those early days, our organization has not changed that much. The structure is still the same: speeches, prepared speeches, impromptu speeches, evaluation, and fellowship. And in those early days, we were expected to speak at every meeting. We were required to, and if we didn't, we were thrust into a speaking position. Today, we have the option, well, I won't be able to speak this week or next week because of this or that. Not in those days. And in addition to that, our evaluations had to be substantive and helpful to the members. And they still are today, very much so. The speeches, timing was the same. Everything is pretty much the same. It hasn't changed. Why? Because whatever is of substance never needs to be changed. And the doors that it has opened for me, the experiences that I have had, are experiences and open doors that otherwise would never have happened. I started my speaking career as a young, good-looking 17-year-old sailor. As my ship was going through the Panama Canal, the captain handed me a script and told me to read the script. Well, even then I didn't want to read from notes. And so I added a lot of my own stuff, which the captain didn't agree with. But because he had 4 stripes and I only had 1, I had to acquiesce to him. And so it was announcing the various historical aspects of the Panama Canal as the ship was traversing that 75-mile waterway, and it would take 5 hours to get through it. And apparently, I didn't satisfy the captain completely, although he did say thank you. Seldom did an officer like her ever say thank you to an enlisted man. Good heavens. But then I realized I need some practice, some training in public speaking. And when I came home after the war, is when I joined Toastmasters. And I met Ralph Smedley on many occasions. What a wonderful person he was. He had a genuine concern for his fellow man. He was a perfect gentleman in every way, impeccably attired, in a double-breasted suit that was always buttoned. And he was just a perfect model. And on the first meeting I had with him was at the old World Headquarters building in Santa Ana. It was a little California cottage. It wasn't very bad. And it was on West 8th Street in Santa Ana. It compares in no way to the World Headquarters building we have today on West Grand. And after my meeting with him, he was so affable and friendly and helpful. He stood and he accompanied me to the front door, and as I left, he put his hand out to shake my hand. Looking at me squarely in the eyes, he said, "Young man," and I was then. He said, "Young man, stay with it, never quit." Those were his words that have been indelibly imprinted on my mind all of these years. And not only has that helped me in Toastmasters, but in every facet of my life. And in the years that I was growing citrus, when the only way out seemed to quit, those words came back to me. Stay with it, never quit. What a wonderful experience that was. And in those days, speech competition was a big facet of Toastmaster membership. And we were required to be in competition. And as I say, if we weren't, they put us in competition. And to get, let's say, a club representative to go to the area, it would take about 5 weeks because we divided the members into 5 groups. And we'd have 5 speakers each week and select a winner. And then on the 6th week, we would have a speak-off among the 5, and that would be the member who would represent the club. And at the district, region, and international contest, the contestants were called in by the Toastmaster before the contest, and we were given, they would review the rules, we were given a choice of 3 topics. You would draw for your topic. then you would have 1 hour to prepare your speech. And I remember at the World Champion of Public Speaking in 1981, the topic I chose was, is it wise to be different? And you would have an hour to prepare the speech. Well, all I can say is, those Toastmasters at the convention in Minneapolis that year did not know a good speaker when they heard one. But it was a wonderful experience that one that their money could ever buy. And the other doors, I served as district governor, international director, and what a wonderful experience those jobs were. And the people you would meet, the help that you would get from those people, it just was enriching in every way. Our dues, when I joined, were 50 cents a month. And we had a little membership card, and we didn't have name badges. But that membership card, we'd kind of stick it in our pocket so it would show, that people would know who we were. And going back even further, the Toastmasters recognized people one and another, even outside of the Toastmaster Club. And another door that had opened for me for many years, I had a radio program 5 mornings a week when I was in citrus growing, and it was Don Ensch and the Food and Farm program. And I had it every weekday morning, and I would give farm news, and I would interview farm leaders that would come through the county. And on Fridays, I would give my editorials. I would write them. And as many of you know, I'm so far to the right, I'm falling off. I would give these right-wing editorials about agriculture. And as soon as I would sign off, Fred Hall, anyone remember Fred Hall? He was a KVN man. He would be on the phone and say, Don, you've got to give both sides of the issue. And my response was, Fred, there's only one side, and that's mine. I had such a following, he didn't want to kick me off the air. And it was a wonderful experience. I would meet people during the day. I didn't agree with you what you said this morning. And I would tell them, well, I take comfort in knowing that I'm right. So those were wonderful experiences that Toastmasters membership has given me. And I relate these to you for a singular purpose: to embrace your Toastmaster membership with all of the vigor you have, to see it as a prize of great value, and to guard it as a pupil of your eye, because it is a singular opportunity that will come your way just once. And many of you, or a few of us, remember Dr. Rich Wilson, Santa Barbara's finest Toastmaster. He was a dynamo on the platform. He had served in Patton's army in France. He he was a prisoner of war of the Germans for 1.5 years, and he had feeling and emotion that he could put into his speech. And I remember on one occasion, he was giving a talk about his career at Toastmasters. And he ended with these words: I hate to think what my life would be without Toastmasters. And Toastmasters, I echo those words. Stay with it, never quit.